Welcome to the Great Margarita Hunt. I'm Jenny, and I'm on the hunt for the very best margarita in the whole world. And we are looking for that margarita in bars and restaurants, places you recommend to us, and right here where we are tasting all kinds of different margarita recipes and also different tequilas and different orange liqueurs. Go back, you'll see recently we did another blind taste test on some orange liqueurs, find out which one we thought was the best. And we did our very first video last summer was also tasting orange liqueurs, looking for the right combination to make that great margarita. So if you have some suggestions on where we can find one made for us, maybe you can make one for us, please comment below and let us know. And also like and subscribe so we'll keep making margaritas. So today we're going to try 3 different tequilas. We've done different versions of this over the last 6 months where we'll try maybe the Añejo and the Reposado and the Blanco from the same distillery. This time we're going to try 3 very different Blanco tequilas to make our margarita, and we're going to try it without me knowing once we're done which margarita was made with which tequila to see which one I like the best. Because just on the surface, let me show you these tequilas over here that we're going to try today. I would not have bought one of these or 2 of these if I'd known what I know about them now. So I'll have to tell you about that later, but I'm going to try it. So here we have the Gonzales. Is that 1939 is what that is? Yes. Gonzales, 1939, a family brand. And here we have a family brand, Mi Familia. What is it? Mi Familia Flores. Beautiful bottle. Love it with that. The stopper is a shot glass. And then this one is Don Diego Santa. And so we're going to try this with a basic margarita recipe we're going to share with you. And then using Cointreau. Really good standby. And then we'll see which one, once we mix it all up, we like the best. This will help you get ready for bringing over friends so you'll know which tequila. Is it the more expensive tequila, or is it the least expensive tequila, or is it something in between? I'll give you a hint. It's really whichever one you like the best. So let me show you the recipe we're going to use today. We're going to use, this is our basic margarita recipe we've been using, and we're going to use 1.5 ounces of tequila, 1/2 ounce of orange liqueur. Today we're using Cointreau, 3/4 ounces of fresh squeezed only lime juice, and 1/2 ounce of agave syrup. And all those different measurements you could play with a little bit. If you wanted a little sweeter, you might put in 3/4 ounce of agave. Now I'm using organic agave syrup. So let me get our glasses. I have 3 identical glasses. And after we mix this up, our producer is going to label them underneath so I can't see it. So I'm going to go ahead and get these rims ready because I like a little salt on the rim when I'm having a margarita, especially a regular lime juice, fresh squeezed lime juice margarita. And we're going to mix this up. I wanted to tell you, so I use agave syrup, sometimes agave nectar, and I think it's right to use agave as a sweetener when you're using an agave liquor. And of course, a good tequila is going to be 100% agave. So just keep that in mind when you're making your margaritas. You don't want to make a margarita maybe with your finest sipping tequila, but you don't want to make it with something you wouldn't be willing to drink either. So somewhere in between of that. Okay, so I've got my 3 glasses ready, and I'm going to go ahead and just get all 3 of these ready at the same time because we're going to have exactly the same recipe. The only thing that's going to be different is the tequila. So this will be a good test to see which one we like the best. And what do you think I'm going to do after this? I'm going to drink them and probably have margaritas with dinner, I'm guessing. Okay, so I'm going to start with, this is the Tequila Diego Santa, and let's see, we're going to use 1.5 ounces, 1.5 ounces of the tequila. So let me go ahead and pour that in. All right, and then the Mi Familia, my family Flores. Love this bottle. Put that in the next one. I really do like this bottle. I like those Marzu bottles up there too. Actually, I like the sign. Okay, I like a lot of the bottles over there. I'm partial to several of them. And then this Gonzales 1939. I read the story on the back of the bottle about the family and the couple that they make this tequila in memory of this couple, the Gonzaleses, from, I guess, 1939. All right, so now we're going to add the Cointreau. And for that, I'm going to use a 1/2 ounce of the Cointreau. And we do like Cointreau is a good standby. Everybody's familiar with it. Some people prefer Grand Marnier. And recently, as I told you, we tasted a lot of different orange liqueurs and came up with a very surprising one. So make sure you look at that video and figure out which one we're going to be using when I'm making my margaritas right now, which one I'm using. And now our fresh squeezed lime juice, we're going to use 3/4 ounces. Let me get this one. Here we go. I'm trying to find, I'll use this one. 3/4 ounces of this fresh squeeze. Okay, so that was almost too fresh. Came pouring out of there. Let me get there. We go 3/4 ounces of our fresh squeezed lime juice. And we have found that using a juicer, if I'm just making one, I'll use one of those handheld things. But if I'm making a bunch of them, I'm going to use a little fresh juicer that I use to make a bag of limes and juice them up. And now the agave. And so I'm going to use this agave. Let's see, I'm going to use a 1/2 ounce. Let me get rid of this now. A 1/2 ounce. This is organic agave syrup. And I've tried different brands and I haven't made, there is some difference. I've also made our own agave, mixing it with hot water and boiling it up to thin it out a little bit if you're trying nectar to thin it out. Okay, so we have in here, we have, let's put this here now. We have the tequila Diego Santa, and then we have the Mi Familia, why can't I ever find the name of this? Flores. So we have Diego, Flores, and Gonzales. We didn't do that on purpose, but it worked out, didn't it? So let me shake this one up first, and then once I shake them up and pour all of them, we'll stop for a moment so our producer can mark these glasses underneath and then mix them all up. That's why we got glasses that look exactly alike, so we can, okay. You know, it does this to me when you're watching. When you're not watching, it comes right off. Okay. All right, I'm just going to pour it all in with the ice. We're going to use this one on the rocks. So we got that one there. Here's our second one. I like ice. Well, on the rocks, I like it when I'm tasting something new. I like frozen margaritas a lot as well. Well, here we go again. It's doing it to me again because you're watching. All right. I could have put some more ice in that one. That's okay. Now they look exactly alike, don't they? That's the idea. I was at a place not too long ago where I was trying margaritas with a friend of mine, and they really liked the restaurant, and it turns out the food was really good, not the margarita. So when we're marking that one down, it would be one not to go back for the food, but not the margarita. Okay, so we're gonna close our camera here for a second so we can mark them. Okay, so we're going to do the tequila Diego Santa. Here we go. I'm going to try this one first. Well, I'm going to actually pour it first, just enough to have a little taste so I told you earlier, I don't want to make a margarita with something that I'm not willing to at least sip. Even if it's something, this is the Mi Familia. Here we go. With the pretty bottle. And that shot glass in the top of it. And then here's the Gonzales 1939. Whoop, there we go. Now we know the Gonzales 1939 is additive free. And we know that because we always check out the Tequila Matchmaker. And that told us that that one for sure is additive free. We'll talk about these others in just a moment. So let's start here first with the Tequila Diego Santa. It tastes like tequila, but it tastes like an okay tequila. I'm not typically going to be sipping a Blanco so much, but that was okay. Let me have a sip of water. I would say it tastes a little bit like tequila. I don't have any distinct flavors coming out of that. Maybe a little bite at the end that tastes a little bit like that flavor when you're having tequila, the thing that people don't usually like at the end of it. Let me try this. Ooh, Mi Familia is definitely sweeter. And some people would not like sweeter, but this definitely is a sweeter taste. And that could have something to do with how they cook it as well. So let me try this last one, which is the Gonzales 1939. Okay, and that's the one that's additive free. And sometimes that means you're going to have some of those flavors are more raw, which is a good thing if that's what you want to experience, like a little more earthiness perhaps to that. Okay, so let's see how this mixes with the lime, the fresh squeezed only lime juice. Let's see how we mix this. So now I don't know which one is which, but I'll do these in order and then we'll look it up. Okay. Tastes a little, the lime, it comes out a little more like, not a grapefruit, but and just the citrus is there with that one. I can taste that, the citrus, and it just comes forward a lot more. Same recipe. Let's taste this one, drum roll. Next time I'll have to tell you in advance so you can make some. I like this one. I want you to have a margarita with me. Let's try this. I like that a little better. I think it's a little sweeter. And we'll see how that matches up. Now the last one here, let's see. I like this one too. I'm going to say between the three of them, these two are my favorite so far. So I'm going to move that one to the side. I'm going to say I would drink either one of these as a house margarita. I don't mean this house. I mean a house like at a restaurant. And I tend to like a little bit of sweetness in my margaritas. Not everyone likes the sweet. They might prefer more tart. That has a little more sweet in it. But I like this one. It has more of maybe a little more complex in the flavors and not as sweet. I don't know if I can pick between these. They're just very different, but I like them both. I guess if I had to, I would probably pick this one as my first choice. This one is my second, and this one as my third. So drum roll. Let's see which one is which. Okay, here's the notes. Oop, in the wind here. Okay, so let's see. A, which is this one over here, is the Don Diego Santa. All right. And then B is this one. This is the Gonzales 1939. Interesting. And then C, which was my first choice, is the Mi Familia Flores. Interesting. Now remember, I said I liked this one first, and it would be this one second, this one third. Interesting. And this is the bottle that's additive free. So I hope that don't let my tasting notes influence you unduly, but to know morally, to know that it's up to you. Everyone has a very different taste, and so something I like may not be your favorite, but how different it can be using exactly the same recipe, but using 100% agave tequila, that you can still get very different flavors out of that. So that's sometimes why people prefer flavored margaritas like strawberry margaritas and mango margaritas, because they don't necessarily like those different tastes. But like with wine and other liqueurs and different cocktails, sometimes you like that distinction. So make this just information that you can use as a consideration, but don't make it an exclusionary advice. I would say that I would go back, if I was doing this for my friends, I would add this. Okay, so which one do you think costs the most? Let's go for the pretty bottle. Yes, pretty bottle. This one was $49, $49.99. It's a $50 bottle. the one I actually liked the most, and I didn't know which one it was, this one was just about $40. And so $39.99, this is the Gonzales 1939, no additives, which I'll pay a little extra to get no additives. And then this one was the Tequila Diego Santa, and this was on sale, but I think the normal price of it would have been $35. So we enjoyed, I would say I enjoyed this one, and I was interested in trying both of these. The point I wanted to make was when you go in, especially to a mass retailer, and they tell you this is additive free or it's organic, you need some other kind of source to reference, because we were told all three of these fit that profile, and they do not, at least not yet. So that's why we recommend Tequila Matchmaker to take a look so you can find out which tequilas are additive free if that's something that you are interested in, which we are. And so I recommend them. We'd like to talk to them someday so we can learn some more. So anyway, that is our video for today. I enjoyed tasting these. I hope you would recommend to us some other tequilas that you'd like us to recommend, or recipes you'd like us to try, and maybe you can come on and show us how to make it as well. Until then, the hunt continues.